Hello everyone, my name is Giron Besainat and I am an application engineer for Micrographics. Thank you for joining today. Today we're going to have a look at AutoCAD in the 3D environment and how we can use the align tools and align specific features. And then we're also going to have a look at the gizmos. I'm just going to open and browse a normal template. Going to open the AutoCAD 3D template, and in this instance I'm just going to draw two different wedges. I'm pressing enter to repeat the command. I just want to change the view to the wireframe so that you guys can see what I'm going to align. To find the alignment tool, it's on your home tab. You go to your modify panel and you'll see there is the align command. It's going to ask me to choose an object that I want to align with another object. So in this instance I'm going to align this object and I'm going to press enter. Now it's going to ask me to specify a point. I'm choosing my first point. I want that corner to align with this corner. I want to align my second endpoint, that corner, to this corner. Now you can choose a third point. For instance, if you want this midpoint and that midpoint to be aligned. I'm only going to choose 2 points in this instance. I'm going to press enter. Now it's going to ask me, do I want to scale the objects? If I choose no, you'll notice that there's still a gap in between. So it's keeping the original sizes of the two wedges. If I press Ctrl Z, just to undo it, just want to show you guys what the difference is between scaling and not scaling. I'm going to choose my alignment, choose my first object, press enter, choose that corner to this corner and that corner to that corner. Going to press enter, and yes, I want the objects to be scaled. As you can see, they're both the exact same size at the bottom. So the corners meet exactly at the same points. Now by pressing Ctrl Z just to reset it again, to show you guys what the difference is between 2D and 3D alignment, you'll notice in your modify tab, you've got a tool that's called the 3D alignment. Now this aligns objects with other 2D and 3D objects. If I select that, I can select my object that I want to align. If I press enter, you'll notice it's going to ask me for the first point. Now the difference between the 3D and 2D is, with the 2D alignment, I will have to choose my first point and then the point I want to align it with. With the 3D, it works a little bit different, where you choose your first point that you want to align of your object, your second point and your third point. And now I can move it and I can choose my next 3 points of the object, what I want to align it to. I want to use that as my first point, that as my second point, and that as my third point. And you'll notice that it aligns those 3 points of both solids quite nicely. Another very good example how we can utilize the alignment tools, it's to align specific shapes like an archway or doorway and align the door to the archway, or so on, gates to a wall. And in this example, I'm just going to draw a quick normal square block going to draw another square block on the inside. I'm just changing this to wireframe. Let's say from that point, I just want to track it to that specific size. Now in this example, I'm just going to use the copy object and copy that as my base point, place it, right click and say enter. I'm going to use the subtract command, press enter. After I've selected my object, I want to subtract this part over there. When we go to our view tab, X-ray, you'll notice we've got a hole in there. Now this is something that you can also use in and utilize when you do small assemblies and so on, is using the alignment tool. I'm going to use the 3D alignment and I'm going to select this object. I'm going to select that as my first point, second point and third point, and I'm just going to change this to wireframe quickly so that I can have a better indication of what I'm selecting. I'm going to choose that as my first point, second point and third point, and now the block is placed nicely inside and aligned inside. Now the handy tools is in the selection tab. You'll notice we've got the Gizmo commands. Now when we look at the Gizmo commands, they're quite nice. We've got the move Gizmo. This sets the default to display the 3D move Gizmo when an object is selected. What that means is, if I'm just going to choose the top one for instance, you'll notice all the different axes that I can move that specific object. So if I zoom in, I can move this in all the different directions with alignment of the Z axis. When we go to the rotate gizmo, you'll notice we'll be able to rotate along the specific axis as required, and we can specify the rotation angle as needed or required. And I'm just going to press Ctrl Z quickly, going to say scale gizmo. Now we've got the option where we can actually scale an object. If we want to scale this, let's say by 2, and that will make it twice the size. If I do it again, we'll make it 5 times the size. So that will work like the scale command. And that's some information regarding the gizmos. It's quite a handy tool in the 3D environment with AutoCAD, and it works nicely with the alignment commands and alignment tools. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more.